In 1923, Germany printed so much money that people literally wiped their bums with banknotes. Why? Because the price of bread cost more than your life savings. It sounds like a joke. It wasn't. This is the true story of how money became worthless, how a powerful nation collapsed into financial madness, and how a desperate government made a decision that still shapes the global economy today. Watch until the end, because the shocking solution Germany invented will change how you think about the money in your pocket right now. Let's uncover the secrets of the 1923 German hyperinflation. Chapter 1: The Empire That Lost Its Fortune. Before this money meltdown, Germany was powerful. Its economy was booming. It had industry, science, and some of the best engineers in the world. Then World War I happened, Germany lost. And the price of that defeat was a mountain of debt. The Treaty of Versailles demanded that Germany pay enormous reparations to the victors. Gold, coal, resources, cash. Germany had to hand it all over. The economy collapsed under the weight of that burden. Factories shut down, workers protested. The government panicked. It needed money, fast. And that's when someone had the terrible idea that started the whole nightmare. Just print more money. Chapter 3: Money Loses Its Meaning. At first, Germans were relieved. Wages were paid on time again. Shops had cash flowing through the tills. It looked like the crisis might be over. Except prices started to rise. Slowly, then quickly. Then violently. Imagine this. You buy a loaf of bread for 1 mark. A week later, that same loaf costs 2 marks. A month later, 100 marks. Then thousands, then 1,000,000. What would you do? People tried to spend money the second they got it. They rushed to the shops after being paid. Some were paid twice a day because waiting even a few hours meant their wages bought less food. Children played with stacks of banknotes like toys. Families used money as wallpaper. Restaurants charged customers based on when they finished eating because the price could rise before they paid the bill. Money was a ticking time bomb, and everyone was on borrowed time. Chapter 4: Life in a Collapsing Currency. By mid-1923, everyday life was chaos. Imagine needing a wheelbarrow full of cash just to buy basic groceries. People carried banknotes in baskets and suitcases. Thieves stopped stealing wallets. They stole the baskets and left the cash behind because the baskets were worth more. Pensioners who had saved for decades suddenly had nothing. Their life savings disappeared in weeks. Parents watched their children go hungry. Farmers refused to sell food for worthless marks. Factories shut down again. Workers rioted in the streets. The middle class, once the backbone of society, was wiped out. All trust in government vanished. Hyperinflation doesn't just destroy money. It destroys society. It destroys hope. Chapter 5: The Winners in a Broken System. Yet here's another twist. Not everyone suffered. Some people got rich. Very rich. Anyone with real assets like land, gold, or foreign currency suddenly had incredible power. They could buy homes, businesses, and entire factories using bags of worthless cash. One deal could turn a lifetime fortune into pocket money, or pocket money into a fortune. Speculators, smugglers, and opportunists thrived. They watched as the old economy burned and built something new from its ashes. The wealthy survived, the poor starved. The middle class disappeared, and in those ashes, something darker began to grow. Chapter 6: The Political Disaster. When people lose faith in money, they lose faith in government. And when they lose faith in government, they look for anyone who promises a miracle. Radical politics exploded across the country. Angry crowds turned to loud voices. Voices that blamed outsiders. Voices that promised revenge. Voices that fed on fear. Economic collapse became political collapse. Hyperinflation didn't just destroy wealth. It helped create the perfect breeding ground for extremism. It turned political fiction into political reality. A new party began to rise. A new leader, a new direction. Hyperinflation didn't directly cause World War II, but it opened the door. By late 1923, Germany was one of the poorest nations on earth. People begged for change. Something had to be done. Then a new idea arrived. Radical, risky. Desperate, Germany would create a brand new currency. A currency backed not by gold, but by something unexpected: land and industrial property. It was called the Rentenmark. Only a limited number could ever exist. Every note represented real value in the real world. Overnight, prices stabilized. Shops opened their doors again. People went back to work. Hyperinflation stopped almost instantly. A miracle, but one that came too late to save millions from ruin. Chapter 8: The World Learns Its Lesson. Governments everywhere watched what happened in Germany. They saw how fast a strong nation could fall. They saw how printing money without control destroys everything. The world changed the rules of finance. Central banks were created with one mission: protect the value of money, manage inflation, control the supply of currency, maintain economic stability. Germany's disaster became a warning we still ignore today. Chapter 9. Could this happen again? Some say hyperinflation is history. Others say it could happen anytime a government prints money without thinking. Look at Zimbabwe in the 2000s. $100 trillion banknote that couldn't buy lunch. Look at Venezuela in 2018. Prices doubling every few weeks, shelves empty. Look at modern money printing after major crises. When governments hit the print button too often, confidence cracks. And if confidence dies, money dies with it. What happened in 1923 wasn't just a German problem. It is a human problem. A reminder that money is only worth what we all believe it is worth. And belief can vanish overnight. The conclusion: Germany printed so much money in 1923 that people wiped their bums with banknotes. But that shocking image is only the beginning. Hyperinflation destroyed wealth, families, trust, and democracy. It changed the world forever. Money is fragile. Society is fragile. When value disappears, chaos takes its place. In our next video, we will look at another terrifying example: Zimbabwe, a country that printed a $100 trillion bill only to discover that nobody wanted it. If you want to understand how money works and how fast it can break, stay with me for that story. Hyperinflation is not just history. It could be our future.